And we welcome you to the Dennis R. Smith Gymnasium here at McCollum High School for a 28-5A boys basketball game. This is the first boys basketball game that we're going to stream here in 2024, 2025, and we're glad to be here. We were here last Tuesday for a girls game. It was Southside and McCollum was victorious then. We're back at McCollum at the Dennis R. Smith Gymnasium. Of course, you are on RC Audio Sports on YouTube. This is Robert Villafranca alongside Brian Janselson, and Reese Hernandez Robinson will be at the camera. Brian is going to hand the baton to him in just a second, and he'll handle the play-by-play duties, and I'll do the tech stuff, and Reese will do his expert camera work here tonight. We thank you for joining us. What you are watching right now up on the scoreboard, 36 and half seconds left to play in a very well-played junior varsity game here. The lead has changed several times over the course of the game. South San with a 3-point lead, and just as we always do, if we get an opportunity, we promise we're going to come on at a certain time, and we do, and we kind of have our fingers crossed to have the opportunity to shine just a little bit of light on the up-and-comers. And there's a steal by McCollum with a 3-point deficit as it winds down under 30 seconds. We're going to sit back and we're going to enjoy this with you. Basket counts. South San trying to take the charge, but it's a blocking foul. And Sonny will go to the line here for McCollum, 1 point down. And again, I'm going to turn my mic down just a bit. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to enjoy this junior varsity, the end of this junior varsity game with you. And as soon as this game is over, we'll go right to our pregame and the warm-ups for the match, for the varsity match. Again, RC Audio Sports on YouTube. Robert Villafranca alongside Brian Janselson, Reese Hernandez Robinson here tonight with you. Thank you for joining. And there you have it, the final minute of the junior varsity game between the McCollum Cowboys and the South End Bobcats. The South End Bobcats able to hit from the free throw line, and that was the difference. That was the difference down the stretch. Robert Villafranca here with Brian Yanselson, Reese Hernandez-Robinson at the Dennis R. Smith Gymnasium at McCollum High School. We are going to take a short break, and we'll come back for the pregame and warm-ups for the varsity clubs.
Join the legacy today and become a teacher for Harlandale ISD. Here at Harlandale, we offer many benefits for you and your family, competitive pay, and a starting salary for teachers of $58,000. We offer teacher stipends for teaching bilingual classes, coaching, special education, and more. Here at Harlandale, we are inspiring our students to be the change. Join us today and make a difference tomorrow. Apply now at harlandale.net/apply.
When you're hit by a motor vehicle, there's nobody that tells you that there's most likely going to be $1 billion insurance company protecting the driver that just hit you. It's a mistake to play in traffic, just like it's a mistake to go against an auto insurance company all alone. When you get into a car crash, don't fight the $1 billion auto insurance companies alone. If you've been injured in a car crash, call Martinez & Associates today at 210-337-1111.
Do you own property that begs for a solution? Tacho Tovar and GBH Real Estate Solutions is here for that. Any condition, any situation, any location. Cash payment. The experts at GBH Real Estate Solutions can handle foundation repair, total interior rough-ins, or any other property need. From start to finish, GBH Real Estate Solutions will be there to make sure the job is done right. Whether the solution is a ground-up project, total renovation, or modernization, Tacho will see it through. Call GBH Real Estate Solutions today, or visit their Facebook page to see many more examples of their fine work. Tacho is waiting to hear from you. Oh, and did we mention? Tacho buys houses.
And we bring you back to the Dennis R. Smith Gymnasium here at McCollum High School. It's game 2 for South End and McCollum. South End and McCollum both victorious in their first in their district openers. The South End Bobcats beat Southwest Legacy 52-36, and in McCollum's opener they beat Southside 60-35. I'd like to share with you a little bit about Southside Real Estate Professionals here, a group of women realtors, all alumni of SAISD and Harlandale ISD. Great pride they have in this Southside community. Much of their work in real estate is done here on this side of town, and we're glad to have them on our sponsorship team. Something that you should know about them is that they often, I'm talking about a lot of times, will take on community projects. They have They have contributed to toys for kids during Christmas, bicycles for the same holiday. They are into mentoring. Besides selling houses and helping you buy houses and doing all the real estate professional things, one of the coolest things that they do is they provide classes for anyone that is interested in going through the process. No pressure. If you want to learn more, if you're thinking about buying, you're thinking about selling, you're thinking about investing, and you want to learn more about them, the phone number there is on the screen for you. Area code 210-291-4002, Southside Real Estate Professionals. Let them know that you'd like to know more about the transaction, if you will, of buying and selling, investing, and they'll hook you up. They'll teach you more about it before you make any commitment. With Southside Real Estate Professionals, also Presidio Concrete, a new member of our sponsorship team. Hector Gonzalez, Dre Gutierrez, in business for 3 years, and what a mark they have made in the business and the industry in those 3 short years. Big projects they have completed at Veterans Memorial Stadium and Judson ISD. They've done the concrete work there. I haven't been to the zoo lately. I can't tell you that this job is complete, but they were they were primary concrete contractors for the gorilla enclosure at the San Antonio Zoo, so that gives you an idea of just how versatile they are. But don't be intimidated by those projects. They are also willing to work with homeowners on residential projects. If you need a porch poured, if you need a driveway poured, if you need a spot for your barbecue pit out in the backyard, call Presidio Concrete. The number is on the screen as well for you. That is 210-787-7222. When you call them, let them know that you heard about them, right here on RC Audio Sports. We're at warm-ups here at the Dennis R. Smith Gymnasium. About 8.5 minutes to go. Let me tell you a little bit about these teams. South San, the visiting team. So let me share some information about them to start off with. Of course, Coach Raymond Carroll, the longtime coach here at South San boys basketball program, and very successful at that. He's assisted by Casey Garcia, Jacob Delgado, and Rogelio Montes. The South San Bobcats come to this game with a 5-3 overall record, 1-0 in district. They are scoring 50 points, giving up 43. To me, the most interesting thing, interesting story about South San in general, and the boys basketball squad is part of that story, is that last year when West Campus closed, UIL, of course, allowed the West Campus athletes to move over, since their campus was now closed, to move over to South San and not lose any eligibility. And the South San football team and the volleyball team so far have benefited from that decision. And the South San boys basketball finished second last year behind the Southwest Dragons, but they have added several key components from West Campus. Aiden Moran is a guard. He wears number 3. Kevin Settles scoring 10.5 points per game from West Campus as well. Alonso Munoz, I beg your pardon, Alonso was part of this team last year. And Ethan Moreno, a big man in the middle, over 9 points per game. And he has also contributed to this effort. Of course, if you're watching 28-5A, you know that MacArthur and Jay have joined us. Medina Valley has moved on to 6A, and Southwest is the defending champion. Jay Mustangs went 3 rounds last year, so you got to expect them to be very competitive here in South San. Finished in second place behind Southwest, who ran the table last year, 14-0. And they came in second place, and they've got some key ads. Besides those ads, though, the team that finished in second had Caleb Vargas at the point guard. High energy point guard, leading scorer for the South San Bobcats, averaging over 12 points per game for South San. And Alonso Munoz, also another big man. Twin Towers for the South San Bobcats, if Coach Carroll would like to go that way. But Alonso Munoz does a lot of work in the paint, and he's going to bring you some boards. And Alonso is averaging 8 points per game. That's your South San Bobcats. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to tell you about those McCollum Cowboys.
Ready! Set!
It's a bad idea to run a foot race against these guys, just like it's a bad idea to go up against the billion-dollar auto insurance industry all alone.
Hire Martinez and Associates. With us, it's personal.
And we bring you back to Dennis R. Smith Gymnasium. Still 5 minutes. They're on the clock for warm-ups. The McCollum Cowboys, coached by Marcus Alvarado, assisted by Jonathan Lundeen, Bobby Smith, and Adam Salazar. The McCollum Cowboys, 2 years out of the playoffs. They're looking to get back into the playoffs after a 2-year absence. The Coach Alvarado is in his 11th season as the McCollum head coach, and in those 11 seasons, several playoff teams and 3 district champions in those 11 years. The McCollum Cowboys last year finished 5-9 in the 28-5A, finished 6th and did not qualify for the playoffs. This year, 8-5 overall, 1-0 in district. They are scoring 55 points a game, giving up 53. So both squads here very comfortable in that 50-point range. They'll find early offense. They'll look for early offense if they can get it, but very methodical, and they're going to be patient moving the ball around. And speaking of moving the ball around, let me tell you about Jeremiah Zurita, a senior for the McCollum Cowboys. He wears number 3, and he is in his 3rd season. This will be his 3rd season starting as the point guard for Coach Alvarado and the McCollum Cowboys. So a lot of trust that Coach Alvarado has in Jeremiah Zurita. He can shoot, but he distributes very well, and just an excellent decision maker. You can expect to see Javier Rodriguez in the mix a bunch today. John Paul Fisher in the post. He clears a lot of space, and a big rebounder. Jazris Viria, who has been a 2-year starter, was first team all-district last year. He is out with an injury. Coach Alvarado and the McCollum basketball team have their fingers crossed for maybe a January return, but he was, he was a leading scorer on this team, and he was, he's a dead eye and he's missing. So the Coach Alvarado and the McCollum Cowboys missing some offense here from last year with Jazris on the bench and rehabbing. We wish him a speedy recovery, and we do hope to see him in January for the second half of this district season. The McCollum Cowboys, as I was saying, 8-5. They played 13 games. Southside was their district opener, and they won that one 60-35. Look for a game in the 50s. Both these teams very comfortable. They can run, and they can put it up in the 60s and the 70s, but they're more comfortable playing a little bit more of a half-court offense, methodical, making good decisions. It is very important to Coach Alvarado and Coach Carroll, as it is to, I would say, probably every other basketball coach, but they really focus on decreasing turnovers, taking care of the ball, and it's a big deal to Coach Alvarado and Coach Carroll when their team is turning the ball over. So you can see a turnover or two, you can expect a timeout from either one of those benches. Both of these teams in their second game, both playing their second district game here tonight. The McCollum Cowboys looking to get back into the playoffs after a 2-year absence. The South End Bobcats hoping to get right back in the district. A second-place team last year. They feel like maybe they can contend for that first spot. They'll have to win this one tonight to do that. We'll see if they can. Robert Villafranca on the RC Audio Sports YouTube channel, alongside Brian Janselson, Reese Hernandez Robinson doing his expert camera work. We will be back right after a break. Right after a word from our sponsors.
See me shine, 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 walking on beams of light, 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 light. Oh, 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 oh.
And And we bring you back to the Dennis R. Smith Gymnasium here on the campus of McCollum High School. The boys are on the court for the playing of the national anthem. 13 seconds left in the on the warm-up clock, so I'm expecting they're going to let that run down. And we will have the national anthem. We'll honor our country and flag here by the playing of the national anthem. Let me turn it over to the PA announcer.
High School for tonight's district matchup between the visiting South San Bobcats and your McCollum Cowboys. As we gather for tonight's game, we want to take a moment to recognize and thank our officials. We thank you for upholding the rules of the contest and keeping sportsmanship at the forefront of the game. A round of applause for our officials, please. At this moment, may we all rise for the playing of our national anthem.
And with the national anthem, let me hand the baton over to our play-by-play man tonight, the great Brian Yanselson. Welcome back.
Thank you, Coach.
RC Audio Sports.
It's so nice to be back at McCollum High School and back on RC Audio Sports. A little bit of a different look since I last saw you, right? There's no net in the middle of the court. Just a couple of nets at the end of the court with basketball season in full swing, but district play already in full action, and this is the second game for both teams coming off a win, South San and McCollum, so it'll be really interesting to see which team can really grab momentum and start 2-0 to make them feel good about their seasons.
It certainly will. Again, as we said in pregame, Brian, the McCollum Cowboys looking to get back into the playoffs. The South San Bobcats hoping to make it 2 in a row here. Actually, 3 in a row appearances in playoffs. They made the playoffs in both of the last 2 years in this alignment with 28-5A 2 years ago. 11-3 second, lost in the first round to Brack, and then last year 9-5 was good enough for a second place finish, and again lost to Brack in the first round. But they've got some additions, as we mentioned in the pregame show from West Campus, that Coach Carroll has embraced and welcomed, and we'll see what their contributions can bring to an already successful squad.
And something we talked about and you mentioned in the pregame is how important a game like this could be, you know, with those new additions of MacArthur and Jay, 2 powerhouses from 6A. There's really 2 spots left if you think that those 2 teams are going to do what they've done in the past. So this is a big swing game to see who can capture those.
And Brian, don't disregard Southwest, the defending district champion. Jay went 3 rounds into the playoffs last year, so you would expect them that, and a lot of that group returned. But again, it's crowded up at the top. Every game is important. 16 of them. Here we go.
And we are officially off. South San, the Bobcats in blue. The road team start off with possession. An early shot. Reminder, no shot clock here in high school basketball, so no rush for either side, but it's a miss on South San's side. But the man who put up that shot, Ethan Moreno, gets it right back for the Bobcats. One of those West Campus high school transfers. Bobcats with possession. Vade Montoya dribbles left. Now finds a man outside for 3. A little strong there on the shot for Godoy. But the Bobcats get the rebound, right back up with it. And now it's corralled by Zurita. Cowboys looking to run. First shot of the night. Rattles off the rim. A three from Esquivel, no good. The Bobcats have a 2-on-2. Nice move, getting around the potential charge, and it'll be a blocking foul as Moreno, charging hard to the basket, looks to put the Bobcats on the board. 4 quarters, 8 minutes long.
The South San Bobcats clearly with the size advantage, and so far for the McCollum Cowboys, it's been one and done. So again, if you're not going to be getting boards, it's even that much more important to have some really good shot selection.
Moreno puts the Bobcats on the board. First points of the evening on either side, as the senior from West Campus has 9.3 points per game. Second free throw is up and good, so the Bobcats up 2-0 here. Just a minute in, McCollum and South San, game 2 of District 28 5A play. Cowboys looking to work their offense. Home team in white with green and gold. Cowboys moving it around. Bobcats staying steady defensively. Not many openings so far. Looks like they're playing a 2-3 zone. Cowboys trying to reach the middle of that zone, but they're still keeping it around the perimeter. Perez over to Esquivel. Now right back to number 11, Perez. His three off the mark, but a rebound there by John Paul Fisher. He's doubled up on the block, and the Bobcats run away with it. So the Cowboys trying to be patient on that possession, but just nothing doing. Now Godoy with the ball, hands it over to Settles. Moreno has been the focal point so far. He steps in, and he takes the mid-range jumper, and it's pure. Good-looking shot by Moreno. 4-0 South San, and Moreno has all 4. Bobcats right back to this 2-3 zone. You can see the Cowboys cutting a man in the middle. That's where they are trying to get. Instead, a long three, and it's good. Letting them know about it. Zurita, as you talked about, Coach Villafranca, he is a key. 3 years as the starting point guard, so he's got plenty of experience, and if the Cowboys are going to get back to the playoffs, you have to imagine it runs through him.
He's got plenty of experience, and he's got Coach Alvarado's green light, just as you saw right there. He'll you give him too much space, and he's going to take a shot.
Munoz misses a little hook shot. Right back to the three-point line. Cowboys a little strong on that one, and then a foul, loose ball called on the Bobcats, it looks like. Trying to get the rebound. And it'll stay here on the home side with McCollum. Early 4-3 lead for the Bobcats. Coming off a 52-36 win against Southwest Legacy to open up district play. And a heads-up play by Zurita, running out of time on the baseline. He just bumps it off number 5, Montoya, to get another 5 seconds. Gets it in quickly. And hold on a second. Substitution that the refs didn't allow. So now he's in. We'll reset on the baseline.
It's Derek Castillo coming in for Ethan Moreno.
Double team on the block. Bobcats have done that twice now, and it's worked each time. The rebound goes to big number 35, Alonso Munoz, and the Bobcats retain possession. Tough three in the corner, but he's bailed out and fouled. Putting the shot up, that's number 23, Kevin Settles. That was a really tough look. All over him was Perez, but a little too close for comfort, and 3 free throws coming up for Settles.
Pettis was out there and closed out on him, and I think that the foul occurred when he turned and blocked him out. Settles in a very savvy manner, took the contact and went to the floor. The officials thought that was good enough for a foul.
First free throw rattles out for Settles. Crowd still filling in here at McCollum High School. On your screen, you see the roadside South San as Settles misses the first 2 free throws, so he got 3. Will he miss all of them? Missed opportunity so far for the Bobcats to extend an early 4-3 lead. Able to put that third one through, so 1 for 3 at the line, and the Bobcats up 5-3, 3 minutes into this first quarter. Esquivel running point so far. Now it's back to Zurita. Nice tight defense for the Bobcats. Transitioning back to that 2-3 zone. No space really for the Cowboys to work with. Their only shot has been a long three. Perez, Roman right back to Zurita. Now over to the corner, quickly over to Esquivel. He puts up the three, and it bounces in and out. Is that a foul on the baseline? Looks like it is. A foul called on the new man in, Derek Castillo. So twice now we've seen loose ball fouls called on the Bobcats that allow the Cowboys to keep the ball.
Very aggressive on the boards, and I'm sure that that's part of the
And now a steal for the boys in blue and a fast break layup for Caleb Vargas, newly into the game. And the Bobcats up 9-3 here in the first quarter. They have played a stifling defense and taking advantage of those fast break looks. Cowboys not much to show early. They continue to swing the ball around. They've had nothing but looks from beyond the three-point line. Thought about another there. And now the ball gets away, saved by Zurita near the half-court line. Punched away by Vargas, but he's going to be called for a foul. Didn't like it, looks over to the bench, and the coaches say, it's all good, calm down. But really hard to remember if the Cowboys have had really any looks from within the three-point line. With this 2-3 zone the Bobcats are playing, they are keeping the Cowboys around the perimeter, and the Cowboys are slinging those up. A couple of substitutions made here during this inbound.
Very tight 2-3 defense for the Bobcats, inviting that perimeter shot. The Cowboys not willing really to take that, still trying to get it inside. A near steal, and we finally have a shot in the paint. It's going to get kicked out.
Another three in the corner, off the mark, rebounded by Montoya. Like you said, that's a good word to use, inviting. The Bobcats are totally fine with the Cowboys taking those tough threes. We're going to see if the Cowboys can adjust and get someone in the heart of that zone, but not so far. Bobcats getting everything they want on both sides. Eli Rodriguez newly into the game, as is Vargas. He's been aggressive defensively. Hands it off to the big man, Munoz. Now right back to Vargas, finds Munoz on the pick and roll, and it's off the cup. Boy, he had a good look. He's going to want that one back. Cowboys trying to run, beat that zone, but look at that defense. Over the top of Munoz. Better look inside the three-point line, but still nothing falling. Bobcats in transition, slow it down as they have 4 white jerseys.
Brian, on that last missed shot, I was impressed with how quickly South San was back here and set up in the 2-3, really not allowing any early offense at all, and that's going to be that's got to be something that Coach Alvarado and the Cowboys are going to have to be looking for to score some points against this tight defense.
Munoz on the offensive board, tries to put it back up, somehow saved underneath by Vargas, but he loses it. Cowboys, here they go again, trying to run. Zurita in the middle, pulls up from the free throw line, thought there was contact there, but nothing doing as the Bobcats go the other way. Losing the dribble there, Vargas finds Munoz, but right back to the point guard. Big guy Munoz preparing for the screen, now he backs off. Montoya with the handles, and he's fouled by number 14, newly into the game, Dominic Camacho. Couple another substitutions coming for the Bobcats and the Cowboys.
Cowboys sending in sophomore Daniel Ramos, try to match up a little bit better with the Bobcats' size.
One of the starters settles, also back in for the boys in blue. Officials making sure everything's in order before letting the Bobcats inbound it. And here we go. Vargas will send it in. Way across the court to number 3, Moran. Senior guard. Munoz drops it off for settles. Round the horn, the Bobcats go. Here goes Vargas, using the screen, finds the rolling Munoz, but it's off his hands. ricocheting off a ton of bodies, but eventually the Cowboys have it. Here goes Zurita. Cuts inside, kicks it out, and the three just a little short. A shove on the offensive rebound. Castillo currently holding the ball for the Bobcats, and the foul goes against him, so that's 2 early fouls for number 42, Derek Castillo. Zurita brings it in from the baseline, but a loose ball foul will stop a potential transition opportunity. You can see how aggressive these Bobcats are. That was Moran. Between him and Vargas especially, just trying to get any hand on the ball, especially on these inbound passes, but that time a little too aggressive, and the Cowboys will head to the line looking for their first points in 6 minutes. 1 minute and 1 second left here in the first quarter. Bobcats 9, Cowboys 3. And first free throw is good at the line. Number 11, Manny Perez, the senior. Takes a deep breath, puts the second free throw up, and it's good, so the Cowboys take advantage. And even though the Bobcats have dominated this first quarter, it's just a 4-point lead. Cowboys with some full court pressure. Vargas beats it all by himself, but then he loses it, poked from behind, and that's going to be a foul called on Dominic Camacho.
Dominic a little bit bothered by that whistle. It was late. I think it was going to be a foul. I think it was going to be let go if there was not a turnover on it. When the official saw that that was going to result in a turnover, he blew the whistle. 14 fouls for McCollum, 5 team fouls for South End.
So both teams will shoot free throws on the next foul. Off the inbound, a foul called on the drive. Settles, driving hard to the basket, takes a tumble near the wall, and he'll shoot 2.
A couple of years ago, Brian, that rule changed. No more 1-and-1s in high school basketball. Every foul, every bonus shot is a 2-shot foul. It's the bonus resets after each quarter. 5 fouls gets you into the bonus. Both teams here with 54 seconds left to go.
Kevin Settles knocks that first free throw down, 5-10 Bobcats. And that's so interesting. I remember growing up, my brother would call it the bonus and the bonus to signify the differences between shooting 1 and shooting 2. But now it's the bonus all the time. Definitely changes some strategies late in games, as off the missed free throw, the Cowboys run offensive board and nearly put in, but it just rattles out. That's number 34, Daniel Ramos. First we've said his name. He'll go to the line to shoot a pair.
And he, big man on campus, big man on the bench there for the McCollum Cowboys. Coach Alvarado just sent him in and doing what he was asked to do, go up there and fight on the boards. The Bobcats have really dominated the boards on both ends, and that's really where the domination has come in. Bobcats struggling really to score a little bit. 10 points in the first quarter. You know, we can push that out. That's 40 points in the game. A little bit lower than their average.
Look at the fighting on the boards as you talk about it, but then it's given away. Vargas intercepts it 3-on-1, and he rattles it in. Look at that move by Vargas off the missed free throw.
Caleb Vargas, and I'm not surprised at all with that basket. He is magician in the air, a lot of body control.
One of 10 seniors for the Bobcats. And well away from the basket, a touch foul called on the Bobcats will send the Cowboys right back to the line. So 3 of their 6 points for the Cowboys have come at the line. Can they get 2 more to make it a 4-point game? First shot put up and in. That's the senior point guard, Jeremiah Zurita. Veteran point guard. Unable to connect on that second one. Grabbed by Munoz. So it's a 12-7 lead for the Bobcats here in the first quarter. 15 seconds remaining in the first period. Bobcats could elect to hold for the final shot. Certainly looks like that's what they're doing. Vargas slowing it down. 7 seconds left. Kicks it out to the corner. That's a 3 by number 3, but it's no good. Rebound by the Cowboys. They have to hurry. Half-court shot. Off the back of the iron. No good. So a frenzied first quarter ends with a South End lead, 12-7 over the McCollum Cowboys. You're watching high school basketball on RC Audio Sports.
I've been working for Harlandale for 23 years. I'm the first person they see, and I like to work with kids. Here at Harlandale, we're a team. And when it comes to delivering the kids safely to school, we all work together and we accomplish the mission.
Join Harlandale ISD as a bus driver and become a vital part of our education community. Enjoy a fulfilling career with competitive pay starting at $19 an hour. Apply today at harlandale.net/apply.
Come be a part of the Harlandale legacy.
Welcome back to Dillard McCollum High School, home of the Cowboys, who trailed 12-7 here after one quarter of play. Not much offensively for the Cowboys, but late in that quarter, they were able to get to the line and make it just a 5-point lead for the Bobcats. South San has really lived in that 2-3 zone, forcing a lot of perimeter shots. What do you think stood out to you, Coach Villafranca?
Well, again, the boards for South San, it's for McCollum, it's a lot of one and done. They've got 7 points, and 4 of those, more than half of those, have come from the free throw line. They've been able to hit 1-3. Zurita out here from about 24 feet, about this the volleyball 10-foot line. I think his heels were on the volleyball 10-foot line out here, and he hit that one. So the Bobcats really keeping the Cowboys away from the basket and offering them shots that they're really not willing to take. Right in the first quarter, I think the South San Bobcats are ahead because of the work they've done on the boards.
Second quarter begins with Fernando Esquivel handling the basketball. Jeremiah Zurita in the game still. Typical point guard. Here he rounds the corner. And another long three put up by the Cowboys, but it's drained by Javier Rodriguez. So the Cowboys so far saying eventually some of them have to go in, right? And that's the second three of the game. 12-10 lead for South San. And now the defensive pressure picks up for McCollum. The big man doubled in the corner, but a foul called on the aggressive Cowboys. We saw a lot of Moreno early in the first quarter, but then he left the court. Really became Munoz, who took most of the action down low.
On the three over here on this side for McCollum, they're going to have to hit that three to move South San out of that tight zone. They'll stay in it all night long if they can't hit from the perimeter.
Settles off the glass, no good, and the Cowboys off and running. Now they slow it down just a little bit. Perez over to Ramos. Nice cut inside. Now it's back to the three-point line, and the three is drained. Javier Rodriguez again. Back-to-back triples, and the Cowboys on top just like that. Crowd getting into it here. Dennis R. Smith Gymnasium, home of the Cowboys. This is a big game for both squads in District 28-5A, coming off a win, starting district play, and the Cowboys get it with the steal Rodriguez, so offensively and defensively making an impact off the bench.
South San and McCollum using the opposite philosophies. McCollum down there in a man defense, and they're doing a pretty good job here since about halfway through that first quarter to keep the Bobcats off the scoreboard.
Heat check there for Rodriguez, not quite getting three in a row, but he tried. You can see who the hot hand is. Cowboys get back defensively, and a holding call on Rodriguez. Working very hard to try to keep the ball out of the hands of Moreno. Got the first 4 points for the Bobcats, but has been quiet since, averages 9. And a couple of changes for the Cowboys for the first time.
Moreno and Munoz for the Bobcats, really dangerous on the block. The Cowboys doing a good job of keeping them off that block. Moreno to the basket, and he's fouled on the attempt, so he's coming to the line for two.
So here goes Moreno back to the line. Bobcats down 1. Too strong on the first attempt. Cowboys holding on to that lead. If you tuned in just a little bit late, Moreno, one of 4 West Campus players on this team. West Campus closing a year ago, and those 500 students having to integrate to South San High School, and they have impacted not only now the basketball team, but football and volleyball in the fall, and just about every sport you can imagine. South San trying to utilize that new talent that they have. Rodriguez's pass off a foot, and it'll stay with the Cowboys here, all tied up at 13. Zurita, the senior, really hasn't taken a breath. He remains in the game. Directing traffic, John Paul Fisher back in the game. Zurita wants it right back, but currently with the basketball, Fernando Esquivel. Changing sides of the court over to Fisher. Reverses it back to Zurita. That's where the Cowboys want it. In the corner, Esquivel, a little short. Rebound corralled by Moreno. Vargas weaving through traffic. No look pass there by Settles. He wants it right back. Vargas got in the way. Now Settles eventually gets it, but that opportunity closed. Bobcats reset, screen by Moreno, opens up the triple, and it's clean by Vargas, who then gives Esquivel a little look. Bobcats back up 16-13, 5 minutes left in the second quarter. Nice bounce pass by Zurita, but it's ricocheted and held on to by the Bobcats.
That might have been the first time that they've been able to penetrate the perimeter of that 2-3 defense. Zurita in the paint and had a 2-on-1, just could not convert.
Moreno likes that mid-range look just past the free throw line. This one in and out. Cowboys get the rebound. Zurita looking to set up the offense. Top of the key, triple. Strong and a good rebound effort by Ethan Moreno to get the ball right back. He just kind of floats up there to get that one. Along the baseline, might have been a block, but instead of foul. Late call there on Rodriguez. So he's had a couple against him, and the Bobcats right back to the charity stripe.
Again, Caleb Vargas doing a great job getting to the basket. The second trip to the free throw line, he hit his first 2 free throws, so he's back here for this one. And he's gonna attack. He's gonna attack that defense. He's gonna be around that rim.
He's been a real spark plug so far. That one unable to fall. But he's got 7 points off the bench, and he's created even more chaos, really, defensively from the minute he came in. Whether it's picking up full pressure or just being in the face of the Cowboys ball handlers, he has certainly made an impact. Looking towards the bench ahead of this second free throw. Trying to make it a 4-point Bobcat lead. And he does, so 17-13 South San. Halfway through this second quarter, 4 minutes before the half. Brian Jordan in the game for the first time, number 0. His layup attempt off the mark, and the Bobcats get it right back. So that offense for McCollum, which relied on the threes early in the quarter, gone cold yet again, and Vargas with a beautiful layup off the glass and in. That is picture perfect, and it's back to a 6-point Bobcat advantage. Now they pick up the Cowboys full court. Adding that little extra pressure, and they double Zurita, has to get rid of it. Here goes Jordan, penetrating, teardrop, and it's just off the rim. Good idea. But the Bobcats now look to add to this advantage. No rush whatsoever for Vargas. Airmails that throw. And taking advantage is Ramos. But a carry called on the sure-handed Zurita. He can't believe it, not even crossing the half-court line. And so the Bobcats get it right back.
I think Zurita was looking down the court to deliver a pass and kind of lost the ball just a little bit. The official was right there by him and spotted that carry. Zurita, I'm not sure he agreed with it, but I think it was pretty clearly a carry. I think he had an idea of getting somebody down court and just wasn't able to deliver.
Vargas will inbound it under the basket. Trying to get the ball right back to him, but the Cowboys smother him defensively. Now he has it, top of the key. Coaches telling the Cowboys to get closer up on the Bobcat ball handlers. And he seemed to be in no pressure. Adam Guerrero in the game for the first time. He backs up his defender, and that's a travel. Took one too many hops with the basketball. And I think the whole gym saw that one, Coach.
He was expecting Miguel Bravo to break the cut on the baseline, and when he did it, he was stuck with it. He had a nice shot. I don't think he expected to get that open of a shot, held onto it and traveled.
And on the other end, Zurita, like he's been trying to do, break that zone, get to the basket, and that time it pays off with a trip to the line. So 2 free throws coming up for number 3.
It's what you like to see from your point guard, just probing the shell of the defense and seeing if you can get into the paint. And you know, I think in the first half, it seemed like McCollum was a little bit too accepting of that 2-3 and kept the ball on the perimeter. But I'd like to see Zurita getting some penetration on that 2-3 zone.
Splits his trip to the line. Cowboys down 5 with 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Montoya, the starter, back on the court, drops it off to Guerrero. He traveled his last time down near the basket, almost did again. Cowboys bench wanted it. Bobcat still with it. Guerrero with his back to the basket. Left-handed dribble, now back to his right hand. Finds some room, kicks it to the corner. The 3-ball, way off. Number 32, Miguel Bravo. First, we've said that name as well as the Bobcats go deep in their bench. That ball rejected by Montoya. And the Bobcats looking to run. It'll be Guerrero with a nice shot fake. Now he's trapped. Finds a man at the wing, cuts in. Now it's back out to the wing. And the 3 is way too strong for Vargas. So both teams going a little cold offensively. And are they going to call a travel? Yes, they are. Both teams getting a little antsy when they get near the basket. And that time it was Rodriguez who tried to stop himself and all his momentum, but he couldn't quite do it. So the Bobcats up 19-14 with 2 minutes left here in the half.
Again, it's hard to put yourself in the mind of a basketball player, but I think Rodriguez was expecting the ball to get a little closer to him before it got to him, and when he got it that early, he just wasn't set.
Ball taken away, trying to maintain his balance and then stripped right back by Vargas, who is trash talking as he dribbles it off the court. Gotta love the swagger he carries. Guerrero struggles to corral that pass. Out to an open Castillo in the corner, and it's strong. Who can stop this frenzy? It'll be a mid-range look, wide right. John Paul Fisher. And you can sense both sides want points back on the board. It's been a while. 1 minute left here in the first half. Bobcats up 19-14. Game number 2 in District 28 5A play. Bobcats beating Southwest Legacy in their first win. Cowboys taking care of Southside. Montoya guarded by Zurita, who has to deal with a tough screen put on by Munoz. Montoya in the corner, and he swishes it home, but a technical called on him right away, as his immediate reaction was to get in the face of John Paul Fisher, so he gets 3, but a technical foul will put the Cowboys at the line, and they'll have possession as well with 43 seconds remaining.
Brian, in the RC Audio Sports newsletter that we just put out, I said this was probably one of the best under-the-radar rivalries in town, and anytime South San and McCollum are on a court together competing against each other, I mean, only Zarzamora, divides them, and it's a long time rivalry. These kids love to play against each other, and they those emotions can be pretty high.
First technical free throw hit by Zurita. Could be a big swing here at the end of the first half, as the Bobcats had built an 8-point lead, but Zurita unable to capitalize on those 2 free throws, just gets 1. Cowboys will still have possession though. And that's 3 missed free throws by Zurita at the line. You know he's gonna want those back. Cowboys have done a good job getting to that line, beating the 2-3 zone. Because other than that, they have not had many easy looks. Officials making sure everyone's in the game that needs to be. Juan Godoy, the starter, back in for the Bobcats. Zurita directing traffic even before he gets the ball. And now another late substitution made by South San.
Looks like South San has come out and do a man defense here, Brian, for this inbounds.
Dominic Camacho, right back to Zurita. Tries to turn the corner, a little bit of a push off, no call. Bobcats get the ball anyway. 30 seconds left, Zurita all over it, and he's got the ball back under the basket, and he puts it down. And now a technical on Zurita. So the Bobcats will get a couple of free throws and possession, so you can tell things are heating up here, even though the weather is cooling down.
The guy in charge of the thermostat's going to be busy tonight. It was comfortable just about 5 minutes ago, and it seems like it's warmed up just a bit. But you know, I noticed on several of these misses, there was some talking going back and forth, and some of these misses were pretty wild misses, missing the rim, and I would expect that the defender was talking a little noise, and then when you hit your three, you want to come back at him. But again, this you know, in a game like this, it could come down to the team that can hold on to its composure the best.
Kevin Settles knocks down the first technical free throw, and he hits both. So just a few seconds ago, we mentioned it could be a swing for McCollum, who got the technical foul in their favor, but with 25 seconds left in the half, Bobcats looking to take advantage right back. A 7-point lead with 25 ticks left on the clock. Juan Godoy back with the basketball. Adam Guerrero has been featured here in the second quarter. Nice move by him. Lost the dribble, had to find help. Kevin Settles. Under 10 seconds on the clock. Bobcats holding on for the last shot, but they can't keep it. In the fast break, Cáceres with the layup, and it's in. 1 second left, half-court heave, and it's nearly in for the Bobcats. But the Cowboys get the last laugh of the quarter. A nice-looking fast break layup. Makes it a 5-point game. Bobcats 24, Cowboys 19 at the half. We'll be right back. You're watching high school basketball on RC Audio Sports.
And we welcome you back to the Dennis R. Smith Gymnasium. The South End Bobcats holding on to a 24-19 lead. We're at halftime, and in the chat room, Robert Casillas comes on, former West Campus coach here. He says, go Cougs. He's got several former Cougs. I guess once a Coug, always a Coug, but this year wearing the blue and white for South End, and we thank you for joining us, Robert Casillas. I believe Jacob Delgado, also on the bench for Raymond Carroll, came over to South End from West Campus. So a lot of pride there, a lot of red and blue pride there for the Cougs, now wearing blue and white. I know they're cheering on their former Cougs. Again, on the screen there, Presidio Concrete in the business for 3 short years, but what a mark they've made. They've got some unbelievable projects that they have completed. They've been a part of Veterans Memorial Stadium and Judson ISD. They did the concrete work for that. At the San Antonio Zoo, the gorilla enclosure, they've done that. And so word is getting out of just what great skilled concrete contractors they are, and how innovative they are as well. The jobs, the industry not fearing to give them big jobs like those. But if you're a homeowner, they don't hesitate to call them. Don't be intimidated by those big jobs. They are willing to work with the homeowner on their residence, a porch, a driveway, a barbecue slab, whatever it is. If it involves concrete, call Presidio Concrete. The phone number is right there, 210-784-7222. When you call them, let them know that you heard about them on RC Audio Sports.
When you're hit by a motor vehicle, there's nobody that tells you that there's most likely going to be $1 billion insurance company protecting the driver that just hit you. It's a mistake to play in traffic, just like it's a mistake to go against an auto insurance company all alone. When you get into a car crash, don't fight the $1 billion auto insurance companies alone. If you've been injured in a car crash, call Martinez & Associates today at 210-337-1111.
And back at halftime at the Dennis R. Smith Gymnasium at McCollum High School. 24-19 is the lead. South End is holding it. Let me tell you about Southside Real Estate Professionals, new to our sponsorship team, and we're so glad to have them. A group of women real estate realtors, all alums of SAISD and Harlandale ISD. Their heart, right there, their name says it, Southside Real Estate Professionals. Their heart is here on the South Side, and they do so many good things besides their real estate work. They have worked to contribute toys and bicycles for kids in the community during Christmas, and they will mentor at the local high schools for kids that are interested in going into the field. And speaking of mentoring, one of the coolest things that they do is they offer classes, no pressure classes, no commitment classes. If you'd like to know more about the real estate industry, you want to know more about buying a house, selling a house, maybe investing in homes, call them up, because they can help you with that too. No pressure, no commitment. They'll guide you through the process, teach you more about it. And if it's something that you want to do, well, you've already made contact with them. Southside Real Estate Professionals, they'll help you buy a house, they'll help you sell a house, they'll help you find a mortgage for it, they'll help you learn more about buying, selling, and investing. Phone number also right there on the screen, 210-291-4002. And again, when you call them, tell them you heard about them on RC Audio Sports.
Do you own property that begs for a solution? Tacho Tovar and GBH Real Estate Solutions is here for that. Any condition, any situation, any location. Cash payment. The experts at GBH Real Estate Solutions can handle foundation repair, total interior rough-ins, or any other property need. From start to finish, GBH Real Estate Solutions will be there to make sure the job is done right. Whether the solution is a ground-up project, total renovation, or modernization, Tacho will see it through. Call GBH Real Estate Solutions today, or visit their Facebook page to see many more examples of their fine work. Tacho is waiting to hear from you. Oh, and did we mention? Tacho buys houses.
I have worked for Harlandale for 9 years. What makes my job special is knowing that the kids are getting a healthy and good meal to get them through the day. My kids come here. I have a 7th grader and an 11th grader, and my daughter graduated from McCollum High School in 2018.
Join Harlandale ISD cafeteria staff and be a crucial part of nourishing young minds. Apply today at harlandale.net/apply.
You're gonna see me shine, 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 shine. Walking on beams of a light, 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 light.
We bring you back to the Dennis R. Smith Gymnasium here at McCollum High School. The South San Bobcats leading the McCollum Cowboys by a score of 24-19 for the South San Bobcats. Number 1, Caleb Vargas off the bench, leading all scorers with 10 points. And Jeremiah Zurita, who you would expect to be up there among the leading scorers, has 8 points for the McCollum Cowboys. Of those 8 points, so I think 3 maybe, or 2 shots. He's got 2 field goals, and then the rest have been at the free throw line. But 8 points nonetheless. So he's the leading scorer for McCollum, and Caleb Vargas the leading scorer for South San, and all scorers here tonight. Second game, I beg your pardon, of the district season for these 2 squads. South San, of course, last year finished second behind Southwest, who ran the table 14-0. Defending district champions Southwest Dragons. South San was second behind them. And McCollum looking to get back into the playoffs after a 2-year absence. Brian Janselson doing the play-by-play. Reese Hernandez Robinson doing excellent camera work. Robert Villafranca, thank you for joining us here on RC Audio Sports.
That was an exciting first half. First quarter mostly dominated by South San, but the Cowboys came out shooting in the second quarter. The Bobcats have consistently been in the 2-3 zone defensively, really inviting those 3-point looks for McCollum, and they haven't stopped shooting them. But there's a big difference, Coach, I think, in threes that are just chucked up there and threes that come off of kicks from drives, and that's the thing that Jeremiah Zurita really did in that second quarter. He would penetrate the defense and then kick out to have a more in-rhythm 3. So we'll see if the Cowboys can rely more on those types of shots coming here in the second half. It's the Bobcats, though, that start with possession. Ethan Moreno very busy in the first half. Asking for the ball right back. Cowboys doing everything they can to deny it. They push it back out to Godoy. Munoz looking to set the screen. He backs out. Kevin settles with the basketball, face guarded by Perez. Pump fake and the mid-range look for Godoy. Bounces off the rim and out. And then Godoy picks up the foul going down the other end.
A little bit of a frustration foul, a mid-range jumper on that baseline, as you called it, Brian. And I think he was frustrated with himself. You just saw that foul coming.
So something to keep an eye on, because the Cowboys did get to the free throw line very often in the first half. And look at the cut by Zurita. That ball rolling along the rim before bouncing in.
That deserves another look. Brian. A nice baseline cut behind the South End defense, and a little backspin on the board, and a nice basket for Zurita. I'm trying to make it a three-point play here.
Making things happen for the Cowboys. Able to convert the three-point play, and he tells his team, let's do it. Some words of affirmation as he goes down the court defensively. Just a two-point game, nearly taken away, but it's off the Cowboy defender. Esquivel trying to poke it away. Instead, Godoy will get to inbound it. But the Bobcats, who have led for most of this game, up 24-22, 1 minute into this third quarter. Settles using the screen. No space to speak of, however. He still has the ball. It's stripped away to the floor. Go the Cowboys, but it'll stay with South San. Bodies diving on the hardwood, and you can see a different defensive energy for the Cowboys here in the second half. Their coach is standing up, barking from the sideline. Godoy goes the opposite side of the screen. No space for him, goes to Settles. Moreno there, gets in the way, three-pointer, and that's a big-time shot by Settles to quiet down the home side. Bobcats back up 5 after that Settles 3. Turning the corner and then kicking, finding Perez. Unable to answer, Munoz corrals the board, and then Settles slows it down. Down to Moreno on the block, immediately doubled, but it doesn't matter. Takes the contact and puts it in. Three-point play coming up.
Ethan Moreno looked like he had that look in his eyes that he was going to take that shot. You could double team him, you could triple team him, you could send the whole team at him, and he was going to put that up on the glass.
He has been such a focal point on offense and defense. Not only the Bobcats trying to get him the ball, but the Cowboys equally as hard trying to keep the ball away from him. But that time unable to, and the Bobcats grow their lead to 8. So it got down to 2, but the Bobcats answer immediately. Haven't felt a ton of pressure. Zurita looking to change that, out to Esquivel. John Paul Fisher gotten a little bit of a skirmish earlier, drops it off for Perez, who is wide on the three-point look. Saw a few of those in the first half, air balls. The Bobcats take over. Here's Caleb Vargas off the bench, leads all scorers with 10 points. And an offensive foul, moving screen called on the big man Munoz. He is asking the officials why. Still talking to the referee, but it'll be Cowboys basketball. A little bit of full court pressure shown by the Bobcats, and they back off. A lot of movement, center of the court. Much more of what McCollum wants to see down on the post. Zurita fouled.
I'm going to guess, Brian, that on the whiteboard there at halftime, Coach Alvarado asked Zurita to get get in around the paint and do his work his inside game a little bit more than that outside game. We've seen right there that was a foul. I think the Bobcats felt like they had to foul Zurita there. He's also very, very dangerous from the block. Point guard that he is, he's still very dangerous on that block.
Bobcats wanted a backcourt violation. Cowboys still with it, though, off the inbound. Zurita thought about that three, and the coaches say, hold on a second, from the sideline. New play called. John Paul Fisher was getting ready for the screen. Instead, Zurita with the backdoor cut. It'll be Rodriguez from the free throw line, a little bit strong off the glass. Moreno collects the board, and the Bobcats trying to extend their lead to double digits for the first time tonight. It's been here in the high single digits most of the game. They'll go to Moreno, immediately double, touch pass to Munoz, who can't bring it home. He hasn't had that touch. That's a couple that have gone in and out for him. Right along the baseline, kicked out. Cowboys around the perimeter, but a travel called on number 14, Camacho. And it'll remain an 8-point lead for the Bobcats. 4:28 remaining in the third quarter. Quarters are 8 minutes long. We have 4 of them. So the Bobcats in no rush here, nearly halfway through the third quarter. Looking to go 2-0 in district play after a win over Southwest Legacy. Bobcats finishing in second place a year ago, making the playoffs. Cowboys continue to play man-to-man defense. You can see they have no real pressure to put it up. They find a good look, and that's when they go. Vargas back on the board with that teardrop. Tiptoeing along the baseline, Zurita able to handle that pass somehow. Has to slow it down. Decides to pull up from way downtown, and it's way off. Cowboys able to hold on to it for a moment, but the Bobcats have it right back. Vargas dribbling it high. Back and forth, right hand, left hand. They have full command of this game. A 10-point lead here in the third quarter. Losing the dribble, swing pass way over the head, and it's hard to be over the head of him, Munoz. But it's airmailed, and the Cowboys will try to take advantage of that turnover.
Munoz was flashing to him at the high post, and Vargas thought that he was going to sit back there on the backside block, and miscommunication there. The ball went over Munoz's head, and like you said, that's a tall order to overthrow Munoz.
I see what you did there, Coach. There is Munoz, able to get the steal. Looking for some help in the backcourt, and he gets it. Vargas back in control. He looks calm, cool, and collected. Flashing signals, moving his teammates around. Cuts left, fouled, and he'll head to the line to shoot 2.
Official pointed to the baseline, Brian. I think that may be called on the floor. Caleb, no. Yeah,
You're right.
That's going to get called on the floor. But again, I like Caleb Vargas's game. Off the bench, sixth man, but boy, he really challenges. That the perimeter of that defense.
Going to Moreno down low, and he's able to get it over 2 Cowboy defenders to get 2 more on the board. And a timeout called by McCollum as the Bobcats grow to their biggest lead of the night, 34-22, with 2:51 remaining in the third quarter. You're watching high school basketball on RC Audio Sports.
When you're hit by a motor vehicle, there's nobody that tells you that there's most likely going to be $1 billion insurance company protecting the driver that just hit you. It's a mistake to play in traffic, just like it's a mistake to go against an auto insurance company all alone. When you get into a car crash, don't fight the $1 billion auto insurance companies alone. If you've been injured in a car crash, call Martinez & Associates today at 210-337-1111.
Welcome back to McCollum High School, where the host Cowboys are down double digits. A 12-point lead for the visiting South Sam Bobcats, and we've got 2:47 left in the third quarter. The Cowboys cut it to 2 at the beginning of the third quarter, but ever since then, the Bobcats are currently on a 10-0 run, forcing that McCollum timeout. Let's see what Coach Alvarado and the Cowboys have drawn up.
Cowboys had 19 at the half, only 22 now. Past halfway mark of the third quarter, they've only been able to score 3 points here in the third.
Not the rate they want. They go around the horn here. 3, just off the left part of the rim. And a loose ball foul called on the rebound. Bobcats will take over.
And again, for most of the game, it has been one and done, and that's a big reason for the Cowboys' 22 points up there on the board right now. The Bobcats really dominating the boards on the offensive and the defensive side.
Moreno asking for the ball. Top of the key, triple. Just short. Rebound goes to Castillo. Moreno out to Settles. Thought about it. Now regroups. Nice dribble work for him, brings it back out. Castillo gives him a change of direction. And Moreno near center court, no rush whatsoever for the Bobcats. Vargas back in control, drops it off to Settles. You can see the Cowboys trying to get up closer to their faces on these guarding positions, trying to make it as hard as possible. Vargas with the step back tree, and it's no good. A collision there between the Cowboys, but they still corral it. Zorita trying to go quickly. Brian Jordan, newly in the game. Backs it out, looking for an offensive set over to Rodriguez. He was hot in the first half, and he drains a three there, much needed for the Cowboys. He hit a pair of those in the first half, so he looks to get going, makes it a 9-point game. Block and foul called down low. Number 15, Rodriguez, after hitting the three. Looks like that'll be his third foul on the baseline. The Bobcats have it. 1:08 remaining in the third quarter with a 9-point lead. Settles, takes a seat. In comes Aiden Moran, one of the West Campus transfers. Brings it in to Moreno. Now Rodriguez, right back to the big man. Triple team this time, and it's still not enough. A foul called on McCollum, and Moreno will head to the line. There has not been a point tonight, Coach, where he has just one defender on him, and it has not mattered each and every time.
He's drawn a lot of attention, but he's a big kid, and you know, I can imagine that Coach Carroll tells him, "You're that close. Don't let him back you up." And boy, he's really taking advantage of his size and his aggressiveness there on the block. Missing the first free throw, but he's already in double digits here as we approach the 1-minute mark of the third quarter. Bobcats coming off 2 consecutive playoff appearances after going 0-14 in district play in 2022. 6-24 overall record, so it's been quite the turnaround for head coach Raymond Carroll and the Bobcats. Mid-range jumper short for the Cowboys, and Moreno, look at those dribbling handles by the big man, but he's unable to finish the layup. Brian Jordan makes the escape for the Cowboys. 40 seconds left in the third quarter. Nearly a travel there. Camacho kept his pivot. Right back to him. Now Jordan. It'll be number 34 from downtown. Ramos can't connect. And it's those types of shots that you feel at times are forced for McCollum. No real rhythm. Cowboy defense trying to force a turnover early in the clock. No shot clock to force that, so they've got to do it themselves. It'll be a triple. Connecting Aiden Moran, and the lead back up to double digits for the Bobcats. 3 on the clock. 2, Jordan driving, missing, and the Bobcats have it, a 37-25 lead for the visiting Bobcats as we head to the fourth quarter. You're watching high school basketball on RC Audio Sports. We're back at the Dennis R. Smith Gymnasium. We were here last Tuesday. We're here again, and we're going to be here again Friday. This is for a girls' basketball game. It'll be MacArthur and McCollum fighting it out here on the court at the Dennis R. Smith Gymnasium tonight. Tonight, McCollum and MacArthur both went in tonight unbeaten, 2-0. McCollum was playing South San, so South San might have something to do with that. But if MacArthur and McCollum can take care of business, we'll have a matchup, a Queen of the Hill matchup between 2 3-0 teams, and 2 teams that really expect to fight to play for that gold ball. 8 minutes separating the Bobcats from a 2-0 district start here at McCollum High School. See if McCollum has an answer. They're going to have to pick it up offensively. They start with possession. It'll be Perez around in the screen.
putting up the wild shot. The rebound will stick with McCollum. Had a rolling Fisher there, did Perez, but he decided to take it himself. It'll be Zurita who brings it in. I don't think he has sat down all night. Brings it into Perez. His three-pointer is short. And then a loose ball fouled as Fisher grabs that rebound. Looks like Moreno will be called for the foul. So the ball sticks around with the green and gold. Rodriguez out to Perez. Now Esquivel all the way around the perimeter. Back to Zurita. But then the ball kind of stops right there. Trying to get back into action. Zurita will go back to the line where he's lived so often tonight. Takes a look at his elbow. Can't help but be scratched up with the effort he's put in, diving all over the court.
He's one of those kids with a lot of desire, and he will, cliche as it may be, he will leave it all on the court, and win or lose, you're going to get 100% effort from Jeremiah. But here they close the deficit down to 11 points, and you see the McCollum Cowboys really, they cannot be as selective as they have been in the first couple of quarters. They're going to have to take some gambles and some risks. Jeremiah is not risk averse, and he will take some of those shots, but they just have not been able to. Once the Bobcats have gotten out to that 10-point lead, they've pretty much been protecting that double-digit lead. And the Cowboys here in the fourth quarter, 7.5 minutes to go, they're going to have to put something up and kind of cross their fingers and hope it goes. It may not be the best shots available, or they may not be as selective as they were in the first three quarters, I guess I'm trying to say.
And they've also got to take advantage of those free throws. For as aggressive as Zurita has been, he's missed 4 at the line. And each one of those points is going to matter coming down the stretch. Cowboys trying to pick up the intensity defensively, guarding full court, but they get a foul called on them. So Bobcats will bring it in from the sideline. Moran guarded by Esquivel. Loses dribble near the center court line. Not where you want to do that. First time all night, Moreno hasn't been immediately attacked when he gets the ball, asking for it right back. Now he's doubled. It'll be Munoz rolling and hitting. Count it, and the foul.
Well, they go to the line, Brian. We'll have an opportunity to take another look at that. And that floater hasn't been going for Munoz tonight. I guess he needed a little bit more contact like he got right there. And boy, around the rim and in for Munoz, back to the line to make that a three-point play.
Out on the free throw, as has been the story for him so far tonight. Quick three put up by Perez, well short, and Moreno has the board. Bobcats with a 15-point lead, under 7 to go in the fourth quarter here at McCollum High School. Bobcats looking to improve to 2-0 in District 28 5A play. Nearly a double dribble called there on the Bobcats. And they lose it anyway. Big opportunity for the Cowboys. Got to convert. Perez with the Euro step, and the layup is in. Nice looking fast break finish there for number 11, the sophomore Manny Perez. And he'll go to the line trying to convert this three-point play. Still plenty of time for the Cowboys, but they've got to be efficient. They've got to take advantage of those opportunities, not just at the line, but when they're running. Don't let the Bobcats get into their zone.
Got to look for that early offense. They're not going to be able to settle back. They're not going to be able to settle back and close that double-digit deficit. So you can expect to see the Cowboys looking for a few more opportunities in that early offense. That tempo's going to speed up just a little bit here.
Perez converts the three-point play. It's still a 14-point lead, make it 13-point lead for South San. Vargas, the ball handler, he has been sure-handed. Munoz with his back to the basket, gets it out to Settles. Moreno, top of the key, he's put this shot up before. Instead, he'll back it out to Vargas. As you can see, no hurry for the Bobcats. Cowboys have to force him to put it up. Vargas using Moreno as a human shield. Now he'll pull up. Way off on the three. Cowboys able to get the board. They'll go off and run. Zurita with possession. full head of steam, and he's got a blocking foul called on Moreno, who couldn't get back in defensive position. And the Cowboys approaching the bonus. That should be the 14th foul on South San. It is. So one more, and they'll be shooting 2 the rest of the quarter. That's going to be big for them.
Boy, Moreno got caught in no man's land. I think Zurita might have gotten away with an offensive foul as he gave that little shove there. I thought that one could have gone either way.
Perez pulls up from mid-range, pops off the rim and out. Moreno with the rebound, and the Bobcats back with the ball. You can just feel every possession adding up, and each time they go down the court and don't put points on the board, feels like that's just one more missed opportunity. And in return, the Bobcats get a bucket from Kevin Settles to make it 43-29. Back to a 14-point lead with 5:14 to go. And then immediately after the basket, we've seen a couple of technical fouls called after made shots. Don't think that's what this is, unless it might be on Perez, who is being talked to by his coaches, and it looks like that might be exactly what happened, another technical foul. It would give South San 2 free throws and the basketball.
I thought the official was holding up 14, but he's not in the ballgame. That must have been on Javier Rodriguez, number 15.
Everyone's still trying to figure it out. Officials going to the scorer's table now. And both coaches very invested in that conversation. We'll see what the end result is. And South San head coach Raymond Carroll doesn't look too thrilled with this decision. Currently a 43-29 South San lead, 5:14 to go in the game.
Boy, I wish I was in that conversation. I'm not really sure what they finally decided on. They looked like they were going to come over here and shoot a technical, and then they're going to bring the ball in. South San's going to get the ball under their basket.
Munoz off the inbounds takes care of it, and after all that, it's now a 16-point advantage for the Bobcats. Really a 4-point possession after all of that. Settles and Munoz with 2 buckets back-to-back. Now Vargas with the steal, takes on 2 defenders and takes it all the way to the rim. Caleb Vargas continues to dominate. He leads all scorers with 14 points. Wild circus shot by Esquivel, no good. And the Bobcats seem to be in firm control of this one. Moreno turns it over as he steps on the baseline. 4:40 left for the Cowboys to get back into it, but offensively, they have been stymied all night, and defensively just unable to really control this Bobcat attack. Perez pulls up from the elbow. Won't go home for him. Rebound will stick with McCollum as Zurita fights for the loose ball. Certainly not giving up are the Cowboys. They started their season with a win over Southside. They're 8-5 on the year. 1-0 in district play. Jordan pulls up from 3. Rebound falls in the hands of the Cowboys still. Camacho out to Jordan. Now Rodriguez from the corner. No good. Looking for his 4th triple, not to be. And the time continues to tick away from the Cowboys. 18-point lead for the Bobcats with 4 minutes to go here in the ballgame. Vargas so crucial to this effort. No one else you'd rather have with the ball. Moreno now right back to number 1, the point guard. Dribbles right, Munoz collects it, and now the triple for the Bobcats off the mark, but Moreno with the board and the finish. Count it. Wow. Incredible effort tonight for number 50, Ethan Moreno. Coming over from West Campus, saying, you know what, Caleb, you might lead all scorers, but I want to make it interesting. Looking for point number 13, Vargas has 14. And he has been a monster on the boards especially. Look to complete this 3-point play, and this lead has ballooned all the way to 20. And now make it a blackjack, a 21-point lead for the Bobcats. Not really indicative of how competitive this game has been, but it's gotten away from McCollum late, and they'll call a timeout with 3:35 to go. Comfortably ahead are the Bobcats, 50-29. You're watching high school basketball on RC Audio Sports.
You own property that begs for a solution? Tacho Tovar and GBH Real Estate Solutions is here for that. Any condition, any situation, any location. Cash payment. The experts at GBH Real Estate Solutions can handle foundation repair, total interior rough-ins, or any other property need. From start to finish, GBH Real Estate Solutions will be there to make sure the job is done right. Whether the solution is a ground-up project, total renovation, or modernization, Tacho will see it through. Call GBH Real Estate Solutions today, or visit their Facebook page to see many more examples of their fine work. Tacho is waiting to hear from you. Oh, and did we mention? Tacho buys houses.
You're gonna see me shine, 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 shine. Walking on beams of light, 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 light.
Welcome back to McCollum High School, where the South San Bobcats lead the McCollum Cowboys 50-29, a 21-point lead for the road team, and the Bobcats looking to improve to 6-3 overall, 2-0 in district play. And you got to consider 2 of those 3 losses in overtime to Davenport and Scrake Jesuit, and a loss against Antonian, who is consistently very good in the private school league. So nothing to be ashamed of if you're South San, looking really strong as they get into the heart of district play. A triple there for Brian Jordan makes it an 18-point advantage for South San, but just over 3 minutes to go here at McCollum. But these Bobcats not intimidated at all by the newcomers, Jay and MacArthur. They're showing right now that they're going to be a tough test. In the corner, settles, drains it, and he laughs it off as he walks up the court. Really feeling themselves are the Bobcats. Why wouldn't they be? Up 21 with 3 minutes to go. Loose ball out of bounds, and it'll belong to the Bobcats. So with 2:43 left, it's a 21-point Bobcat lead.
Brian, great point on those overtime losses for the South San Bobcats against some quality teams there. And the record 8-5 could very easily be 10-3. I'm not sure. I think one of those was a double overtime loss.
And you look at their wins too over Churchill, Big 6A school here in San Antonio, Floresville, Flower Bluff, and Parkland. So the Bobcats have challenged themselves in non-district play, preparing them for what should be a difficult, rigorous schedule this time around with those 2 new teams.
That South San ISD tournament that they hold at the beginning of the season is for decades. As long as I can remember, and I can remember a few decades, has been just a great tournament with some really good teams. You see some great competition there.
Moreno with another basket, and then a loose ball foul called on Caleb Vargas. You can see even with just 2:11 on the clock and a 23-point lead, the hustle has not gone away for either side. Vargas has been a pest ever since he entered the game. Defensively, offensively, doing just about everything right for the boys in blue. At the line after the foul, it's Dominic Camacho. His first free throw, no good. Trying to get on the board for the first time. Cowboys going to the bench with a couple of new faces as well. Samuel Casares. We'll see that second free throw rim out for the Cowboys, so no can do for Camacho. And the 2-minute warning here with the Bobcats up 23. You'll see the Bobcats just pass it around a bunch. No shot clock to prevent them from doing it. And before they keep on rolling, a timeout called by head coach Raymond Carroll. So 1:56 left on the clock. South San 55, McCollum 32. You're watching high school volleyball on RC Audio Sports.
When you're hit by a motor vehicle, there's nobody that tells you that there's most likely going to be a billion-dollar insurance company protecting the driver that just hit you. It's a mistake to play in traffic, just like it's a mistake to go against an auto insurance company all alone. When you get into a car crash, Don't fight the billion-dollar auto insurance companies alone. If you've been injured in a car crash, call Martinez and Associates today at 210-337-1111.
And we bring you back to high school basketball. It's boys basketball tonight on RC Audio Sports. This Friday we will be back here at McCollum. It's going to be MacArthur and McCollum girls basketball. Both teams went into tonight's games 2-0. The McCollum Cowboys were playing South San. If McCollum and MacArthur can come out of there unscathed, we'll have a nice 3-0 versus 3-0 ball game next Friday.
Should be a fun one here at McCollum High School. Just 1:56 remaining here in this one. Bobcats feeling good about their chances to go 2-0 in district play. Triple way off the mark, but you can see the fighting continues down low. Foul on the board attempt. Cowboys bring it up. But this was really the Bobcats game from the start. There was a flurry of a moment in which the Cowboys took a 1-point lead, and then early in the third quarter made it a 2-point deficit. But since then, it has been all South San. Thanks in large part to that man right there, Caleb Vargas. Puts in another 2 to add to his total. 16 on the board for number 1, and he claps his way to the bench. Another McCollum timeout sends us to a break. A 25-point lead for the Bobcats as you're watching high school basketball on RC Audio Sports. Both teams calling timeouts back and forth here near the end, even though the Bobcats have firm control of this one, a 25-point lead. Both coaches, though, want to give some playing time to some guys we haven't seen. Josiah Davila in for McCollum, as is Jordan Alvarado Hidrogo, but it's still Caleb Vargas' show. Whoa! A big collision and tumble on the court. I said both teams still giving it their all. Slow to get up for McCollum. Jordan Alvarado Hidrogo just into the game. It'll be Bobcat basketball on the baseline. At this point, you just want to make sure everybody's healthy and leaves the game ready for the next one on Friday. McCollum will host Harlandale, sorry. So you know they got to get geared up for that one.
That'll be next Tuesday. We'll have a doubleheader. We'll be back here for that doubleheader. It'll be a girls game and then a boys game. So looking ahead, Friday it's MacArthur at McCollum. McCollum right here. Next Tuesday, doubleheader.
Meanwhile, these Bobcats will go to Jay. And the game has definitely slowed down here at the end. Tends to be the case in basketball, doesn't it? Lots of fouls, lots of timeouts. As Ramades at the line for the Bobcats. First time he's in the game.
I don't think the schedule that we have here has the bye weeks, and that's why there's McCollum likely will have a bye week before they play Harlandale.
Always good to have that, because that big rivalry, a little bit of extra time to prepare. Bobcat bench going wild. First point for Maris. And we have 1 minute remaining here at McCollum. Bobcats up by 26. And another foul called as McCollum with possession. They'll head to the line in the bonus. Brian Jordan, number 0, at the stripe. First free throw good for Jordan, and think we're all just happy, Coach, that basketball season is in full swing. The
love
fall
it.
is fun, football and volleyball, but now as the weather cools down a little bit, the Christmas lights go up, and Thanksgiving's in the rearview mirror, it's hoop season.
It's hoop season, and I love it. Always a pleasure to get these games on RC Audio Sports, and always love sitting at the table with you, Brian. A great call tonight.
I love being right next to you as well. Appreciate the opportunity. Always a lot of fun. These athletes work hard. They do great work in the classroom, and then they take all this extra time to do it on the court, on the field, wherever it may be, baseball field, softball field. Mentioned a dual sport athlete, yes, a regional appearance in cross country. So some people call running a punishment, but some people call it a sport. And so Cáceres coming over from cross country to play basketball as well. Final ticks coming off the clock here at McCollum. Bobcats swing the ball around just a little bit longer. But when this clock hits 0, it'll be a 2-0 district record for the Bobcats. Looks like one last bucket and a pair of points for the Cowboys. That's Daniel Ramos Jr. But that will do it. The South San Bobcats improve to 6-3 overall, 2-0 in District 28-5A. They've got a big matchup coming up at Jay, the favorite in this district, so we'll see what the Bobcats have in store. Meanwhile, the Cowboys get a bye week on Friday, and they'll gear up for the big Frontier Bowl against Harlandale a week from today. You've been watching high school basketball on RC Audio Sports. I'm Brian Yanselson, was joined by Robert Villafranca, and on the camera, Luis Hernandez Robinson. Thank you so much for your great work. We appreciate all of you for joining us on RC Audio Sports. Once again, the South San Bobcats 58, the McCollum Cowboys 38. We'll see you on Friday night.
When you're hit by a motor vehicle, there's nobody that tells you that there's most likely going to be a $1 billion insurance company protecting the driver that just hit you. It's a mistake to play in traffic, just like it's a mistake to go against an auto insurance company all alone. When you get into a car crash, don't fight the $1 billion auto insurance companies alone. If you've been injured in a car crash, call Martinez.